Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into TradeChat. My name is Panzer, and today we're going to be talking about classic servers, and I'm going to do my best to not edit this video in any way. I would like it to be like a one-take, organic sort of thing where we're just talking about our feelings, because we certainly don't know that much about classic servers as of right now. We know that it's going to be as close to an authentic vanilla experience as possible. It's going to be a polished Blizzard quality product when it comes out, but that being said, it's going to be a while before it's out. I would say at least 2 years because the expansion is likely a year at least away, and I don't think it's going to be released with the expansion because that would have been a way bigger announcement, a way bigger deal, and we would have learned way more about it. But they had very minimal information beyond, yes, we're going to do it. And a lot of people have been asking me my thoughts on this, and that is because, let me back up and give you the whole story for those of you who do not know. When Nostalrius was originally taken down, and Nostalrius was a private server that mimicked a vanilla experience. So when Nostalrius was taken down by Blizzard, the internet was sort of in uproar about it. Every YouTuber ever, every Twitch streamer who had ever played WoW was making videos and making content on it. So being that I make videos about World of Warcraft, I also wanted to make content on it, but I didn't want to come out and just say, I want this, or I don't want this, or Blizzard's in the wrong, or Blizzard's in the right. I genuinely wanted to make a neutral video. So I wrote up my, pros and cons of the idea of a classic server, and I showed it to the officers in my guild, who hopefully will comment on this video and vouch for this, but I showed it to the officers in my guild and said, what do you guys think? And my GM, Oki, came back and said, I think this is extremely extremely biased toward the idea of classic servers. This doesn't come across neutral to me. It comes across as being extremely biased towards wanting classic servers. So I took my notes back and I actually made a column on one side that was pro and a column on one side that was cons. So not necessarily pros and cons, which is the wrong words. I shouldn't have used those words. It was more like Blizzard's point of view and the community's point of view. And I tried my best to have an equal number of points in each one of those columns because, that's the idea of being neutral, right? I showed it to them again. They said, this is much more neutral. This is way better, blah, blah, blah. I filmed the video and I'm really proud of it because I worked really hard on researching it and trying to get my numbers correct. And don't get me wrong, there were a few things that were cited incorrectly. It's hard when you're researching things all from the internet because the internet contains so many lies. So I did have a couple of my numbers wrong. I referenced RuneScape. I think it's called Project 99 in EverQuest. I'm not sure, but it was a while ago. So it's not fresh on my brain, but a couple of my numbers were off. But in general, my goal was to present Blizzard's argument as to why they wouldn't do it and the community's argument as to why they should do it. And this was interpreted by a lot of people as me being extremely anti-legacy servers. And that was not my intention. My intention was to be neutral. And in trying to defend my point of view as being neutral, I struggled with this for a while when I was thinking about making this video of whether I was going to name this person or not. And I think that in an effort to not have someone else get blamed for what this person did, I'm going to name him. Mark Kern took it upon himself to be the leader of this movement. And he is also known as being someone who is... I'll just leave that out of there. He decided that he was the face of this movement, and when it was determined in the community that I was against legacy servers, which I was not in any way trying to do, or even personally how I felt, I certainly was not trying to swing it that way. He was really mean, and he was tweeting out pictures of me saying that I wasn't intelligent, that I had a poor upbringing, that I was the face of the enemy. People were encouraging each other to try to find out my address so that they could dox me. People were sending me death threats and rape threats, and it went on for a couple of days of just ruthless. Every time I opened every one of my social medias, every time I opened my comment section in YouTube, it was just vicious and vile, and it changed my thoughts on legacy servers. And I understand that that is selfish and petty. I do. I'm the first person to admit that that's selfish and petty, but my experience is my own. And my experience was that this crowd of people who wanted this thing that in the grand scheme of things, I just didn't really care so much about was being horrible to me. So there was just a part of me that did not want those specific people to get what they wanted because nobody wants bad behavior to be rewarded. That being said, I've stepped back and kind of looked at the whole situation, and I think that the reason that people thought I was against legacy servers is because I do not support private servers, and I still do not support private servers. And I think the reason that people got really upset with me was because I talked a lot about why Blizzard had the legal, not just the legal right, but the legal obligation to defend their IP and pull the private servers down. And I think that people correlated me not supporting private servers with me not supporting the idea of Blizzard making their own legacy servers. And I think that because so many of the things that were said to me were so personal, I didn't really even get to the point where I tried to step back and look at the point of view of how it got there. I was just upset. And I'm only a human being, and I'm sure that looking back, there was a better way I could have handled it, and I'm sure that there was a better way I could have explained my point of view, and I'm sure that I was overly defensive. I'm sure that I was overly sensitive, but even as somebody who's on the internet, as someone who I consider myself to have pretty thick skin. It takes a lot to really bother me on the internet. It really bothered me. It really hurt my feelings, and it didn't stop. It's not like it was a weekend and then it was over. Like, you can set up spam filters on YouTube, and I still have a bunch of like Nostalrius, Mark Kern, Legacy, stuff like that is all in my spam filter, because anybody who was saying anything about that was like following it with something along the lines of, "You dumb bitch!" Like, it was mean. And I made a video like 2 weeks ago before BlizzCon saying that I didn't think Blizzard was going to announce legacy servers and that I didn't really want them to. And a lot of people in the comments were like, "You're selfish, blah, blah, blah." But the truth is, my opinion on it never mattered. It didn't really matter if my opinion on it was selfish, because I have no say over what Blizzard does, clearly. But now that we're here in a place where there are classic servers, and they are coming, I'm actually pretty excited about it, because I didn't play in vanilla. I didn't start playing until Burning Crusade. And, you know, if you rewind back to prior to that Nostalrius video, prior to all the drama, I wanted to try these servers. Like, I wanted Blizzard to make a vanilla experience that I could try, because it wasn't anything I had ever been able to do before. So I am excited to try out vanilla servers. I know for a fact it's not going to be anything that I main on. It's not going to be where I spend the bulk of my time, but I'll definitely give it a shot. And I will especially put a little bit of time into it if any of the achievements from Classic WoW, if they're going to add achievements and if they'll transfer to your retail account. I don't know how that will work, but if there's any sort of, excuse me, I just kind of burped a little. If there's any sort of progress that carries over to your main account, I'm obviously kind of a completionist. I like to collect things, so obviously, like, I'll want to put more time into it. But my overall opinion is that I am pro whatever brings more people into playing Warcraft. I'm pro whatever is the best thing for a healthy community. And to anybody whose feelings that I hurt in saying that I didn't want legacy servers to happen, I am really sorry. And I'm not just saying that. That was, and you know, when I said it was rude and selfish and petty. And it was all based on my own kind of personal experience and not a broader sense of the situation, which, I don't know. At the end of the day, I am just a person, and I'm not perfect, and I never claimed to be perfect. And you know, had I just gone out with the original video and not been so desperately trying to remain neutral, none of this would have happened, because my first video was like 80%, yeah, it would be so cool. And, you know, if you buy a game, you can just put a disc in and play the game, but it's not like that with WoW. And how unfair is that? Like, that was the theme of my first video. So I think it's kind of funny and ironic that I've ended up being in this place where I was the face of the enemy, when truthfully I was never against legacy servers until I was put, you know, in the forefront. And what was so bizarre about it to me was that I mean, you're welcome to go back and watch the video. It's still public. I do have comments disabled, which, if you look through my videos, I think I have something like 1,300 videos on YouTube, and 2 of them have the comments disabled. I never do that. And I mean, you can go back and watch the video, and I would love to hear your opinion on whether you thought I was not neutral, because I really genuinely, that was my intention. And I was trying to not give a bias. And I think part of the reason that it was taken so poorly was because I was definitely and still am against private servers. It's against terms of service. I work with Blizzard all the time. Like, I'm a big, I'm obviously biased. Like, my livelihood depends on people playing World of Warcraft. So if people are not playing World of Warcraft because they're using private servers for free, obviously, like, that's not good for me personally. And I'm admitting right now that that's a bias. But I think part of the reason that people thought I wasn't neutral was because I was against the actual idea of private servers, and because I presented a lot of things from Blizzard's point of view that were not presented in a lot of other videos. What's strange to me, though, is that there were actually a couple big YouTubers, like bigger than me, who came out and said, legacy servers are stupid and Blizzard's never going to make them and you're dumb if you want them. And those people were not roasted over a fire pit the way I was, which I'm not in any way the type of person that likes to blame like gender or anything like that. Like, that's not my thing. I don't really consider myself to be what most people would consider to be a feminist. I don't really consider myself to be somebody who's on the opposing team. I genuinely in life try to look at every situation individually and gauge it from there. And in this situation, when there were 5 or 6 big YouTubers that were dudes that came out and said it was stupid, I can't fathom why I was the face of the enemy other than the fact that I was a girl. And I understand that it was also coupled with what I said, but it's hard when you feel like you're attacked for something that you can't help. It's hard when, it's just shitty. The whole situation was just shitty. And I don't want to spend any more time like blaming anybody, and I don't want to spend any more time having enemies. So I don't know, man. Like, if you like really dislike me because of what I said about legacy servers, I encourage you to unsubscribe. Like, don't force yourself to be constantly, bombarded with my face. I get it. Like, there's people in this world I don't like too. That's fine. But we don't need to hate each other. And I don't know, man. Like, I wish I had handled that situation better. I wish I had not said, after all was said and done, after the whole nonsense was said and done, because even, it's funny, I'm pretty sure you can, like, search for archived tweets. You can, like, even when all of the drama is going down, I think I tweeted out, like, I want legacy servers. Like, what is everybody's problem? I don't understand. And, like, oh, man, I don't know. And there's always going to be people in the comment section who say, well, I read it, and this is what I thought, and blah, blah, blah. But you need to step back for a second and remember that just because you interpreted something a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that that's what the person who said it meant. I feel like I'm not going to win no matter what. I just slipped off my desk. I don't know if you saw that. I just feel like there's no winning. No matter what I say in this video, I can't. There's always going to be a group of people who despise me to the core of my being because they think I didn't want them to have legacy servers, when the truth is, from day one, that was what I wanted. And, in going over like a month or 2 months or however long of just constantly being bullied about something I didn't say, like people putting words in my mouth and people assuming things that I meant that I did not mean, it did make me not want it anymore, like it just, but it wasn't because I didn't want people to play vanilla WoW. It was because it was petty, and there was a group of, and truthfully, in the whole internet, it was probably maybe 1,000 people who were bullying me, but like, it feels like a lot when you're one person and 1,000 people are coming at you, man. And I understand that there's probably 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, maybe more people who are going to play these servers on the reg. And it's rude of me. It's rude as fuck of me to say, I don't want you to have this. But it wasn't really you. It was these group of people over here. And it doesn't excuse me saying that. I don't know. I guess I just I don't know. This was a weird situation for me to be in the middle of. The only thing I can really do is sort of laugh about it. I'm definitely going to try out legacy servers. I mean, I still stand by. At one point I had said, in my video, how many of the people on private servers are going to pay for these, because you do have to pay your $15 a month WoW subscription, and private servers are free because they're stolen. And I still feel like a lot of the novelty of it is going to wear off. But, I also know that there are people who are going to play classic WoW until those servers don't exist anymore. And for those people, I am happy. I mean, there's no reason I wouldn't be. And, if you are someone who really wanted classic servers and you never said anything mean or rude or threatening to me, and you got caught in the crossfire of all of this, I can't apologize enough, because you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. And it's like, I guess, like, in a weird way, it's almost like bigoted of me, I guess, to say something that would affect the whole group of people who want them because of what a small minority of people did. But I don't know how many times I can say I'm just a person, and I'm just a person who's I don't know, like I don't know. I think I'm going around in circles now, but the TLDR is I'm gonna try out classic servers. I'm happy for everybody who was not a dick and wanted classic servers and now got them. And if you are someone who is rude to me, not just rude, but if you are someone who threatened me or attacked my character or my appearance or anything that was completely unrelated to anything I said because you weren't getting your way, like, a solid fuck you. I don't take that back at all. I don't take that back at all. But I don't know, man. If you didn't do anything wrong and I offended you, I that sucks. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do to undo it, and I understand that. And now we're here. So that's my video on classic servers. So anyways, leave me a comment in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts on classic. Let me know your thoughts on classic servers. Let me know what you are excited for and not excited for. Let me know where you were when Nostalrius, the drama was all going on, like what your stance was then, because I'm interested in seeing if anybody's minds have changed one way or the other. And yeah, I have a bunch of videos to film. I think I'm going to have a video about Overwatch tomorrow, and then I'm going to get into the real beefy WoW stuff. I'll do a video on 7.3.5. I'll do a video on the next expansion. I'll probably break off and do like a video on allied races and a video on the new amulet thing that's very confusing. I don't know. I have a lot of stuff to do, and I'm kind of feel like I'm in this hole that I'm trying to dig myself out of as rocks are being chucked down at me. I'm sure you guys have all been there at work one time or another, so I'm going to go get to work. But genuinely, guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope we're all cool and we're all on good terms, because I don't know, I am over it. I'm over it. I hope you're over it too. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm gonna go. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.